Iraq boosts its financial stability with huge stores of dollars and gold in America and Europe. I really find this one interesting. Why do you think they keep telling us how sound, secure and stable it is? They want us to embrace it when they change the value. Economist. Trump is changing the rules of the economic game through gold. Quote. Trump indicated that the U.S. economy may witness a transformation if there is a greater trend towards using gold as an economic tool, instead of relying on paper currencies. They're coming after you. Oh, are they ready? Our government is coming after you. They know you have dinars. They're going to find every way to charge you what you don't need to pay. Every third cousin you haven't heard from in years is going to call you and say, "How you doing, kissing cousin? I need a few bucks." Everybody's going to come after you. They're all going to try to take your money away from you. The U.S. has limited its efforts to help increase the value of the Vietnam dong. The U.S. at times has labeled Vietnam as a currency manipulator, accusing it of deliberately keeping the dong undervalued to make its exports cheaper and more competitive in global markets. Vietnam has managed to achieve significant economic growth despite its currency being undervalued. A low currency value makes exports cheaper and more attractive to international buyers. In Iraq, there is a ginormous fight over the budget. Parliamentary finance, parliamentary pressure on the government to send 2025 budget tables. There is also unusual international pressure to get it done, especially from the U.S. We never seemed to be concerned about this the last 15 years, and now suddenly we are concerned that they pass a budget. If it were me, I would set the rate high to start and would be a standalone or sovereign currency. This would allow the market to adjust the currency as it will. If set high enough, Iraq would be paying off debt at the minimum advantage ratio, and as the currency falls in value, it will find its equilibrium and stabilize. This would maximum value when paying off debts and buying supplies for infrastructure, imports. Once stabilized, then enter into a basket of currencies with assurance that the value would remain stable for a long time to come. This is logical, economically safe if not conservative, and would allow us to get the max for our investments up front. This is my idea of a win-win scenario. If I can deduce this, rest assured they have already considered it long ago. The below message recently comes up on this site, when you inquire about the IQD. It says, notice IQD may be redenominated. This redenomination is the newer lower denominations we have been waiting for. Yes, they will have to execute the project to delete the zeros. We know that the CBI must also raise the rate of the dinar at par or just over $1 within country to get this project started and create incentives to turn in the dollars. This is really the final push to de-dollarize Iraq. The CBI still needs to break this parallel market. As long as the dinar is much lower than the dollar, this issue will linger. This is what I was talking about. Once Trump gets into office, how is this going to affect Iraq? You see, Trump has already approached Saudi Arabia and OPEC to ramp up production of oil. If they ramp up production of oil, this will drive down the cost per barrel. Of course, here in America we benefit from it, lower gas prices. Iraq, they have built everything based on $70 per barrel of oil. Now the new budget hasn't passed yet. One of the things they need to figure out is how much they think they're going to get per barrel. If they ramp production, that's diluting the market with oil. That's going to cause the price to go down. That's one of the things I was concerned about. The US and the UK have some of the largest foreign currency in Iraqi dinar in the world outside of Iraq. When you get worried about them doing things where you don't get any value, it's absolutely false. The United States isn't going to throw away the trillions of dinar they have, nor the UK. Keep that in mind, because that should alleviate some of the significant fear of folk thinking Iraq's reinstatement of their currency or giving it a real effective exchange rate isn't going to bring value. It surely will emo. Iraq boosts financial stability with huge dollar and gold reserves in US, Europe. Quote, a country that has huge reserves of hard currency is considered an economically stable country. the Central Bank of Iraq announced in 2024 that Iraq has a foreign currency reserve exceeding $100 billion. Iraq's large reserves of hard currency, including gold, provide cover for the local currency and give it stability. Mr. Sami said, "Issues with oil and gas will always persist until a new rate appears. That's the only thing that will actually solve all this disagreement between Baghdad and Kurdistan." Frank: "Yeah, that's absolutely right. I agree. All we need is the new exchange rate. Everything else will iron itself out." Reform package revives 1,000 stalled projects. Because they couldn't agree on the budget the last few years, they have been holding off on projects for a few years. They have not been able to do them all, they have been stalled. People are looking for a new rate. But they are getting ready to restart them. They cannot do 1,000 projects without a massive infusion of cash. I believe they are setting the stage and we are getting ready to see it. The Undersecretary of the Ministry of Oil, Ali Maraj, said on Tuesday that the ministry aims to increase oil production to about 7 million barrels per day over the next 5 years. In his speech during the Iraq Energy Conference, Maraj added that the most important basic objectives of the Iraqi Ministry of Oil revolve around increasing production capacity, which will reach 7 million barrels per day within the next 5 years. He pointed out that the ministry also aims to treat gas and reach 0% in the burning of associated natural gas, as well as stop the process of importing petroleum derivatives during the coming period. Iraqi Foreign Minister Fuad Hussein denied on Monday the existence of threats by U.S. President Donald Trump against the Iraqi regime. "We have not heard any threats from the new U.S. administration towards Iraq," Hussein said during a dialogue seminar in Baghdad. He added that improving relations with neighboring countries is a fundamental principle, pointing out that Iraqi mediation between Saudi Arabia and Iran has had a positive impact on the Iraqi interior. He explained that Iraq's security is linked to the security of the region and vice versa, noting that Iraq's relations with Western countries are strong, and that Iraq has historical relations with Britain and the recent agreement with it includes all aspects and strengthens the relationship. He noted that the fifth round of strategic dialogue with the United States will be broad and include several committees. Regarding the economic relationship with China, Hussein said that trade exchange reached $50 billion. The Iraqi parliament member, Qasem al-Fayyad, confirmed today, Tuesday, that there is a real difficulty in passing the amendment to the budget law, describing the amendment as controversial. Al-Fayyad told Shafaq news agency, "There is a major division within the House of Representatives regarding passing the amendment to the budget law sent by the Iraqi government, and this amendment has become one of the controversial laws, and